Yo guys, first of all I want to apologize for only having one shot from the vegetative stage. I don't know what was wrong with me. In today's run I show you how I grow a cherry McMuffin, a blue sushi and a frosty acai mince, and how the cherry McMuffin is harvested. The setup is the same as in the previous runs, so a 40x40 by 160 tent with a 200 watts LED, a silent axial 100 tube fan, a mini activated carbon folder and a small clip fan from the hardware store. The lamp runs at a maximum of 50% light output for the entire grow. Check the links in the video description. For germination, 0.5 liter cups were filled with slightly pre-fertilized soil that you can get from any grow shop. Then the seed was placed in the middle of the soil about 2 cm deep. I sprayed water directly onto the seed once with a small spray bottle. Then the seed was covered with soil and the surface moistened again with a few sprays. Then leave the cups in the dark at over 15 degrees Celsius and check them daily until the seedling has come to the surface. As soon as the seedling has come to the surface, the plants were simply placed under an 18-hour light cycle. Day 1 is counted from the time the seedling has come to the surface and shed its seed coat. To initiate the flowering stage, the light is set to 12 hours. Here the plant is already in the flowering stage or stretch. These are the first 2 to 3 weeks of the flowering stage, in which the plant produces a height increase of 100 to 200% depending on the strain and the length of the vegetative stage. The plants were fertilized far too late. Normally the fertilizer is applied before the start of the flowering stage. However, after the stretch, the plants were given approximately 3 grams per liter of medium greenhouse feeding bio bloom. This is an organic slow release fertilizer that supplies the plant with nutrients throughout the entire flowering stage. For me, this is the best method as I don't have time to mix a fertilizer solution every time I water. Also, unlike many others, I honestly don't see any relevant price differences when you consider the number of products required and the frequency of application. For the first 2 to 3 weeks, the plant is only watered with a small spray bottle. As soon as the plant is a little bigger, I start to water it properly. I use the weight of the pot as a guide. You simply lift the pot before and after watering. If you have done this often enough, you'll know that the dry pot weighs nearly nothing and you should let the pot dry out a little before each watering. The amount of watering is simply always adapted to the plant's drinking behavior. If the pot dries out too quickly, water more the next time, but always make sure not to overwater. It's better to give too little water than too much. I water with tap water, left to stand for 12 to 24 hours. I don't adjust the pH and I don't use liquid fertilizers. After the plants had completely rooted through the cups, they were repotted on day 24 of the vegetative stage. The blue sushi in an 8 liter fabric pot, the cherry McMuffin in a 5.5 liter plastic pot and the frosty acai mince in a 9 liter plastic pot. The first 2 shoots on the first node were removed from all the plants, as I have noticed that these usually grow weaker. In the flowering stage, I lollipop the plant in the 3rd week. When lollipopping, I remove all the upper leaves that cast shadows on the bud sides, all the lower leaves that no longer receive light, and all the bud sides that are in the lower third of the plant and are too underdeveloped so that the plant focuses on the upper flowers. This time the lollipopping was really held back, a little too much, but in the course of the grow, I will defoliate from time to time. Thanks to everyone who always leaves a like, a comment or subscribe to my channel or is supporting me by using my links or codes. Thank you very much. I want to emphasize again that this is a home grow and not a commercial grow. Not everything can always go perfectly, as you can very obviously see. The early discoloration of the leaves may have been caused by a lack of nutrients or by light stress, as the light was somewhat close to the plants during stretching. In the first few weeks of the flowering stage, I sometimes raised the temperature to 29 degrees Celsius. In the last 2 weeks of the flowering stage, however, I pay more attention not to exceed 25 degrees Celsius in order to preserve terpenes and cannabinoids. In every grow stage, the VPD, i.e. the vapor pressure deficit, is actually the ideal value to follow. The VPD is influenced by the ratio of temperature to humidity. You can read and adjust your current VPD using charts. There are different charts for each type of lamp. I have included the one for LEDs in the description. The circulating air clip fan remains on during the entire flowering stage, simply to give mold less chance to develop. The late discoloration or yellowing of the leaves is intentional. At the end of the flowering stage, i.e. the life of the plant, it uses up all the nutrients from the leaves and then sheds them off. This process is also known as flushing and ensures that less chlorophyll has to be broken down in the end product, resulting in a smoother and more flavorful smoke. This time I didn't play around with 48 hours of only light or only darkness before harvest, as I didn't harvest the plants together. On day 69 I harvested the cherry Mac Muffin. I hung the whole plant upside down to dry after I had removed all the larger leaves, i.e. the fan leaves. It is best to hang the plant in the dark with a temperature of 16 to 19 degrees Celsius and the humidity of 55 to 16% to protect terpenes and cannabinoids. It took about 10 days to dry the plant. Here are a few shots of the trichomes on the day of harvest. This is what the buds look like after drying, and the total harvest was about 15 grams. Feel free to write me your opinion in the comments, check the links in the video description and leave a like and a subscription as support if you like the videos. Otherwise, thank you if you have watched the video so far, and I'll see you in the next run.